Today is about embracing and tackling your curl conundrums. At the end, I share some hairstyles of mine from the 70s and 80s, plus 3 generations of women together as requested by 4 gemstones. Enjoy! Hello, my curlies! Erica here from Coils and Curls, and welcome back to another Frizz-Free Friday. If you have a lot of hairs, but not globs of hair, just hairs on your hands, you can rub your hands in a circular motion. It kind of gathers them together. And then this way, you have just a little ball you can throw. I don't think I have ever done a close-up of how I kind of fix everything, because sometimes when I'm doing the videos, I'm not really happy how it comes out. So I think I'm going to take you close up and on the journey of making the hair lay the way I want it to lay and not the way it wants to lay. The first thing I do is I see where I'm not curling as nicely as I would like. So what I'll do is I will hold it for 10 or 15 seconds and use my body heat to force the curl back in. Okay, that helped a little. And you count to 10. But at least you're starting to get that curl forced in before it hangs too much. Now, I see something like this that has one hair attached to it. Now, will that curl better? It's already curling better, but not good enough. So that means there's something else attached to it. And there she is. I hope you saw that, because that would really suck if I messed it up. Now, will this curl better? No, there's something wrong. What is wrong? Okay. Oh, I see many things wrong here. Okay, I see that. I spy with my little eye. Now, let's see if that's enough, or whether I need to dissect it a little more, because you don't know until you check. Now, the beauty of it is that although I'm doing this now, I don't have to do this every day. This is just to set it up so that it looks good for the week. All right, it's a little better that I'll be able to force it in as I blow dry. Another one. So I'm going to pull it. And do you see that one hair off to the side right here? What hair does not belong? But you can still see that there's more breaks to it. But we're going to see if it would be happy to stop right there and try to force that curl in with the body heat. All right, it's a little better. And this is just kind of hanging there too. See, I didn't have to deal with this in my younger days. When I was in my teens and 20s and 30s, and even the beginning of my 40s, I didn't have to do this. My curls would curl because there was so much hair that one hair attached did nothing. As my curls have thinned, one hair attached pulls it all out of shape. Of course, the one thing to always remember is, number one, you might be able to force some curl in as you're drying if you use a diffuser. And if not, you tuck it away, and even if you left it out, I'm sure no one else would notice. Only we notice. So really, it's just surveying. Now, this looks a little crazy. And probably could be salvaged. Where does it want to go? Do you want to go there? Oh no, you really want to go there. Figure out first where it wants to go, because for all you know, it wants to be somewhere else than you thought it wanted to be, and this is when you can fix it. This is just sticking up in the air. We don't want it sticking up in the air. This is what you do. You take your water bottle. You spray a little on your hands, not all over everything else, on your hands. And then all you're going to do is come in and gently with the water that's on your fingertips. This way you're not wetting anything else. And now you can see, well, what can I do with it? Oh, these are just two really big pieces. Well, they're not big pieces. But when you're a thin and curly, because you're maturing, you have thinning pieces. But, ooh, look at that. There's another piece. Is that holding it back? And was that it? Does it seem that it was it? It might have been it. What I'm going to do, a little bit of moisture, nothing crazy, and then just smooth it over so that you're putting things back down. If they're flipping up, this is your chance to put them back down. Oh, look at that. That should be over here. And this is looking a little frizzed. I think I should do a little crisscrossing. This way we can hide my part a little bit more. Let's see. Can I do it with you? All right. Let's start where we think we can. And it doesn't have to be a big chunk. It can be just a very small piece pulled in the opposite direction so that this way you're just kind of hiding that part. And if you're taking pieces that are too far off center, you're going to notice that. So try to kind of fix where your placement is. If it looks like you've pulled too much. Tips and tricks, my curlies. Do you see right here where it's not as curled at the scalp? I'm going to show you how to fix that before you step out the door. What you're going to do is you're going to cradle those curls in your hand. You're going to spray them gently with the spray bottle. Then what you'll do is you'll hit them with medium heat on low. This way you can force that curl back in. And there you have it. Quick fix for when something isn't curling as well as you would like. This is how you fix it. A culprit of curls that was not cooperating. It's laying very strangely and it's making it look like I have a gap. And the reason is because you can see how much hair is attached. It's many curls. And I guess, what is that, about 2 inches? Yeah, about 2 inches. And if you dissect them, piece by piece, very slowly, this one is fairly large, so it needs to be done gently. And that can be fixed with a little smoothing cream. Now I don't have the gap. But now the curls need to be fixed because they didn't twist properly because they were all clumped together. This is why I tend to dissect my curls before I style. If the weather is very dry, you don't need as much product. If there's more humidity, a higher dew point, you sometimes will need a little more product to prevent it from expanding and searching for moisture. If you get stuck, you see where this is stuck? If you can't undo it without frizzing, you let go and then you try again, and that's usually enough to disconnect it from the back of the clip. Now, if you have a thick head of hair, you're going to have to lift some of the hair to allow the water to penetrate. If you have fine hair, I'm sure you don't need that. But if you take a look at my hair in the back, it's only a little damp, but underneath there's not much. It's really dry, absolutely dry. That's why you always want to make sure you lift your hair to get it all. One thing to pay attention to, when your hair is dry, I know how sometimes people like to dry it in a bundle, but then if you look, do you see how there's all these gaps? Because of all these bundles. Now, if you look at the back, do you see how there are major gaps? It just looks weird. If you don't disconnect those huge bundles because you're trying to not make them frizz, then you have all of these gaps with nothing filled in properly. So, I can feel the gap here. Here's one in particular. You can see how bundled it is and that it's really not curled correctly because you see how tight the curl is at the bottom. That means the curl would have been that tight all the way up, and that's one that's kind of sticking out, I do believe. And this is why I suggest disconnecting curls while they're still wet and you can keep them from frizzing. Once they're dry, it's sometimes harder to separate the bundles without frizzing it, and then they don't lay properly because they were bundled with other curls. And again, as we mature, our curls are thinner, so when they bundle like that, you see gaps. Sad but true, my curlies. This was a helpful tip and trick. Okay, anyway. Now that I've ruined it, okay. Shit. No, it needed to come this way, right? Yes? No? Maybe so? I'm so fucking confused. Here I am at 7 years old. My mom always had my hair in something. It was never down. At 10, I was still rocking those pigtails, so before school started, my cousin chopped it off. That's when Mom said, I was going to let you wear it down now. Great, thanks, Mom. By 81 and 82, my hair was back, but not for long. By 1983, I was short and spunky getting my hair cut in New York City. By my early 20s, it was back. And here are my two favorite women. And, ooh, ciao for now.